okay? Gently tap, make sure it's secure. I'm gonna blend it in together in a minute, but I'm gonna keep going. The most important rule, and Christina, if you can get closer for this next part, depending on your vase, so if your vase is gonna get wider, which means getting fatter, then you're gonna, the next time you put your coil, you're gonna start to put it towards the outside. So you guys see how it's starting to get wider? I put it towards the outside. If I want my base to get smaller, I'm gonna move it towards the inside. And that's gonna make my pinch pot get smaller, okay? So remember, outside to make it get wider, inside to make it get smaller. Does that make sense? And you're gonna keep building these coils, making sure you're scratching and attaching. Let me just do a hole. Remember, always have water on hand too to keep your coil. Some people have difficulty holding it in the air. You can. This is the ancient, this is the, classic traditional technique that many different cultures have used, that I showed you guys in the PowerPoint. And this is how they made all their containers, just like the containers you guys use today for storage that are plastic. Okay, perfect. So I'm gonna start building it. You can even use water. Okay, and you're just gonna keep going. So it's gonna go a lot quicker than you think, but remember, we also wanna practice, depending on your design, you're changing directions. So you can also build those on the side and add those after. And we can stop the video in a minute and I'll do a demo for that too. But I just keep building. Okay? So the next part, remember we talked about some of the areas are going to be, depending on your aesthetic, if you were trying to have good craftsmanship, if you want the coils to be visible, you leave the coils like that on the outside. Go back like I'm doing right now, make sure everything's lined up. Make it as even as possible. Then take your scraper tool, hold your hand on the outside like this, you're cradling it, and then you're going to blend the pieces together on the inside. And this is the most important part. You need to seal it and blend together. If you need to, because some of you had that issue with your cup, where the base did not stick to that first section, you can actually add a smaller coil here down to that base right there and blend those together as well. Okay? Can everybody see that? I don't know if they can or not. So notice how I'm using my stick to go all the way down. As you get taller, it might get harder. Okay? And do not do what I'm doing right now. Remember, we're using our banding tool to avoid it breaking, because every time we pick it up, you're making it fragile. Okay? So you want to always have it on your banding wheel, and just holding it up so you guys can see. You blend it all together so you have the outside look smooth. Has that texture, but the inside has made it a solid piece, okay? So if I move in another direction, I'll try the snail technique, right? So I'm gonna roll up my coil. Remember I had that slide that showed you guys the different techniques for coils. So one of them is the spiral shape. So you could make these ahead of time, and then you do the same thing. When you attach it, scratch, and then you're gonna add that to the piece. You can add as many as you want. You can even add balls, and then once you're done with it, you put the coils right over it, so it can change the shapes. Whatever shape you want. Everybody's design is different, but this is just to show you guys the basic techniques, okay? All the clay is out and ready for you. If you guys want to get started, stop.